Hey there folks, Chumpesque here with another audio commentary, and indeed another th000 game. It's going to be th000 versus Fly today. We've had a lot of th000 games, but th000 has been on an absolute roll recently. It's absolutely insane how well he's been playing. The fact he didn't win WCG is just baffling to me. But we're going to have to see how he's going to play here. Obviously playing against Fly. Fly is obviously an Orc player, and th000's worst matchup is definitely Orc. So we're going to have to see how th000's going to try and play this. We are on Echo Isles, so obviously Mount King first would certainly be expected from th000. Certainly what we expect from th000 and what we see from th000 rarely correlates these days. But certainly Mount King and then human tier 3 air is so strong in this map. And it's surprising almost that it wasn't a common strategy until sort of fairly recently, at which point humans stopped doing the tier 2 tower rushes and started up with that play. But the problem with this play is it's so obvious that it's going to come, because you see this Mount King first as opposed to an Archmage, so an Orc can immediately read everything into this. And so actually what th000 has started to do recently, we're going to have to see if he does this game. He is actually going for Mount King, and so that is going to sort of suggest that he's going for the very quick expansion play. But what th000's been starting to do recently is he's started to throw in a lot of riflemen into his play. He'll maybe get like a workshop up. Obviously workshop, you get one flying machine, and that's excellent against that Blade Master, and then you can get a couple mortar teams and go for a really interesting sort of human tier 3 army where it has a couple casters, maybe some breakers. You know, you can have a whole bunch of different stuff in there, which Fly isn't necessarily expecting, and doesn't necessarily have the perfect counter for, whereas obviously if he's just expecting to see human tier 3 air, which certainly is a possibility in this game, then you can. It's actually quite a tricky strategy for Orc to counter it all, but at least Orc sort of knows what he's doing. He can get a good he has a good plan for it. You can get a good army composition. Meanwhile, Fly sending this 1P on here, very smart play. Obviously, there's you don't really need to do the scouting here, just because if you don't see anything come here here with this peon, you know that the creeping's going on here, and so you don't need to bring your Blade Master in to go for creep jack or anything like that. And the thing is that means that Fly doesn't actually know what hero th000's gone for first, but certainly, as I say, you can just find that out basically at any time. And this peon now looks like he's going to go try and sacrifice himself to the creeps. He does, and th000 manages to get away. Great awareness there by th000, and looks like th000 did manage to creep that out very happily. Picks up a ring of protection. Meanwhile, Fly not going to finish off creeping that or the second trapper actually. It's an interesting play there by him. I guess he just wants to get to this creep jacking as soon as possible, because I assume he's going to go for an expansion now. Oh no, maybe he's going to go for the Merc Cap. Ooh, this could be bad, and looks like Fly actually going for this creep instead. He could have actually gone for the creep jack, I think, at this point. I'm not sure why he isn't starting this creeping now. Maybe he's waiting for this footman to get away so he doesn't get caught doing this. But he must know, Fly must know that th000's going to be very busy. He's not going to be able to come in for a creep jack anyways, and so maybe he just wants to keep th000 on his feet. But certainly, like, the effects of actually keeping him on his feet, it's not like th000 has any dust to waste or anything like that. He just needs to be vigilant, which just isn't really much of anything. It's not going to detract at all. And, you know, Fly managed creeping this out. I'm not sure what item he got, but he sold it, so it's probably like a wand of mana stealing, and maybe a mana potion, although generally you keep that for your Shadow Hunter second. And it looks like this Mount King not going for the bolt here on this grunt. Interesting there, but I imagine we're seeing tier 2 tech now for Fly. Yes, we are. And th000 now not started his tech, but is putting up a farm, or he is putting up a tower, and actually interestingly has put these farms all around his main, which is just, ooh, actually th000 gonna lose 2 peasants there. That's really quite bad for him. He's going to have to rebuild those, because it looks like he's finally going to go for this expansion now. But as I was saying, putting up these farms out around the front of your base is actually really effective, because it just means that raiders can't run in and take down this town hall, and it might mean that th000's going to make a keep at this base instead. It's something that he likes to do a lot, just because he knows that if he does lose his expansion, the game is pretty much over anyway, so you may as well defend it as well as possible. And you know, it looks like this one Shadow Priest is getting low, does eventually go down, and Fly doing a good job of just taking down a couple low units. He's not going for the creep kills, just because he knows he can be bolted just like that, and actually, ooh, he gets surrounded, but there is this one low position. Th000 tries to pull it back, but doesn't quite get it in time, and Fly's going to be able to get it off here now, and salve as he runs out. And th000 now, with only 4 peasants, going to take him a bit longer to build this expansion, but certainly Fly could have such a huge tech advantage at this point. th000 hasn't started his tech and won't for a very long time yet, and it looks like Fly now doing a bit of shopping, buying some boots, and has actually some pretty nice items there on his Blade Master, and so he's going to be able to do a bit of just harassment here on this expansion attempt, while th000 tries to set up some towers, and he is fortunately going for at least one tower very early on. which is actually probably quite a smart move in this situation, just because Fly is such an aggressive player at times, and you really do need to be wary of him just coming in and getting a bunch of kills like he's trying to do now. Nice dust there by Thu. He's going to get a bolt off immediately, and a bash now. This Blade Master taking a lot of damage. He's going to actually have to run out of here before he does too much, but it looks like this one Shadow Priest unable to get into the back of the base because of the nice simultaneous grunt harassment here by Fly, and does go down, and it looks like Fly's now going to be happy with that and run away, but he needs that level 3 now on his Blade Master. His Shadow Hunter has just started to come out now, as is his Bestiary, and we're probably going to be seeing a Spirit Lodge at any point. You can go for double Bestiary and go for a lot of Wyvern, and obviously Wyvern very strong against the Mount King, and when you don't have tier 2 as well, it's just so painful, and that's actually one of the situations in which this Rifleman strategy that Thu's been doing a lot has actually been very effective. But as I say, it's very possible that we're going to be seeing a more normal play here by Thu this game, and it looks like another staff teleportation. Oh no, this must be a TP actually by Thu. Yeah, he's using his TP to get in here as soon as possible because he knows he's been caught a bit out of position. Nice play there by Fly to actually get in and do that. Nice bash there, actually getting that one grunt kill, and looks like Fly now going to try and focus down some footmen. Ooh, great surround there by Thu. Fly's going to try and take down this one Berserker, but it looks like Thu does manage to move up a footman in time. Excellent play there. Thu's actually going to lose another grunt there, but Thu just getting so many grunt surrounds. There's going to be 3 grunt kills, and it looks like this one footman just finally go down, but scroll of speed being used, but just not being enough to save that one grunt, and this Blade Master now is level 3 fortunately, but the fact that there's no grunts is actually really huge. You might think that grunts aren't actually that important. I mean, they're alright, and Thu actually kills his own footman there, but the problem with no grunts is that now the Shadow Hunter is going to be out any second now, and actually is already out, and it's going to have no assistance in creeping, and Thu is now actually attacking off his expansion as I said he might. He actually has lost these towers, so he's having to rebuild them, but yeah, it's going to be really tricky for Fly to do any creeping now. He's going to need to keep his Blade Master here because he has no grunts, and grunts are just so... Yeah, oh, he's actually rebuilt one. He doesn't even have Berserker Strength though. He's bringing down a Peon as well, so I think we could be seeing an expansion now from Fly, which is probably going to be the right response here. But Thu's really been shown to be very good, very vigilant at just scouting out these expansions. Obviously you can't power build as an orc, so if Thu just gets in here with the Mount King, he'll gladly trade a TP for an expansion cancel, and if Fly's not right around, then it's just really a very bad situation to be put in, because you don't have a huge army and you're spending all your money on just trying to constantly rebuild. And Thu now coming in, I'm not sure, he probably saw that peon. I'm not 100% sure if he did, but regardless, looks like Fly, he is going for that expansion now, and this one footman I think did manage to get away, and this Blade Master is going to now go back into harass, because Fly has a small army, but still, it's not much, and we do finally see a Spirit Lodge, so I'm not sure we see any Spirit Walkers at this point, so I have to wonder if it would have been better just to put up the expansion a bit earlier. Maybe Fly didn't want to creep it out before his Shadow Hunter was out, but Thu now doing some, or using a Clarity, obviously you just, sort of the key point of Thu's whole Mount King philosophy, which he's been going crazy with for the last 2 months or so, is that you have to always have mana on your Mount King. It's such a useless hero without mana. It's basically like a giant footman, but it's so terrible if it can't get a bolts, because all it can do then is bash, and bash is alright, but it's certainly not as good as pretty much any other hero, so without mana, so you just need to keep it with mana. And so even if that does mean keeping it out of the battle for a bit while you use a Clarity, or creeping a bit less, it's definitely worth it. And Thu's really made such great use of the Mount King recently, and it looks like we are going to be seeing some creeping, but a Creep Jack coming in here now for Fly, going to try and steal something, actually going for that Berserker again, and actually Fly now coming in with the rest of his army. 2 Raiders can be very useful, as well as 1 Spirit Walker. No dispel, but he obviously doesn't need it at this point, and that's a smart choice not to get it, so he can get his expansion a bit quicker, and this whole attack is just so nice for distracting Thu, stopping him from taking out Fly's expansion, and it looks like Fly actually doing a huge amount of damage here, and Thu just really unable to respond. Thu being able to bring down militia from both camps now. This is really another brilliant part of upgrading your expansion, is that you can then call so many more militia from so many more directions. Nice bolts around there. Fly brings in his Windwalk Blade Master to try and pop out the Shadow Hunter, and he does manage to do it. Excellent play there by him, but looks like a couple, or at least 1 Raider is going to go down here. Another Raider is a bit surrounded, and Thu now finally finally hitting level 4 on his Mount King, and he does get immediately go for a bolt there. Obviously, that little bit of extra mana, very useful. He does have a mana potion as well, which is going to be so nice here, but Thu just getting so many kills. He's losing a bunch of militia, but he can rebuild them fairly quickly now, and this actually, the Shadowhunter, very, very low, does need to run out of here, and this Blade Master now can be left on his own, but with enough mana for almost 2 Windwalks, so he certainly is going to be fine here. And this Mount King going to try and maybe come in, gets enough, another bolt. This Shadowhunter down to 39 hit points, 5 hit points, he's going to get the kill. Oh, Hex! Brilliant Hex timing there by Fly, and this Shadowhunter going to run away. Amazing play there by Fly, so confident. I think that was a bit of luck as well. I mean, you can't be that confident with getting down to 5 hit points, getting that perfect Hex, and we even saw through between attacks he moved his Blade Master up just a slight bit more, just so that he could get that better position if that Shadowhunter did manage to run away a bit. Thu meanwhile going for this Archmage second, getting his Water Elementals out, but he's immediately going to be creep-jacked, and this Mount King getting hexed and down to very low health, and the Archmage can be left alone, and that's just not good. And sort of part of Thu's play is always basically getting this Archmage, which always goes down at the very beginning, but then eventually proves its worth later on in the game. And so Thu's sort of very used to losing his Archmage very early on. We've seen that a lot recently, and Fly will be able to clean up this up, and this expansion is now up, and looks like Fly bringing down all these a couple peons from lumber, so that he doesn't have to build too many more, and Fly at 2 expansions under 50 food. That's excellent. Meanwhile, Thu getting up a blacksmith, getting up 2 arcane sanctums and a workshop. You can see he's not going for that heavy air. If he was, he certainly wouldn't have gone for that Archmage second. So that's another big tell for Fly as to what the strategy of Thu's going to be if he hadn't obviously scouted out the 2 arcane sanctums and a workshop. And so Thu actually not even healing up at this point. This is very risky. Fly coming in to try and kill off the Mount King. This is a hugely risky move, because a good bolt and a couple bashes can kill this Blade Master, but I can't imagine this Mount King going down from the situation. He has a healing potion, and so I'm just not sure what the big plan is here by Fly. Actually, coming out of Windwalk for a second there, needing to use another Windwalk, and it looks like some nice simultaneous creeping here by Fly, finishing off that camp that he started earlier. 3.5 now on a Shadowhunter, whereas Thu just so far down in levels. This Archmage now using that clarity as well, and it looks, ooh, Flying Machine does come out. Blade Master is revealed, does manage to get away though. Who doesn't bolted, probably because he knew he couldn't do anything, but it might have also been a reaction time thing, and this Flying Machine just going to follow around that Blade Master, and obviously the Blade Master doesn't really have too much to do. It would be nice actually if he just crept on a couple of these creeps or something while he waited for his army to catch up with him. And it looks like a huge army now from Fly, really making the most of his 2 bases. He's at 50 food still, but we can see he has, what, 4 Raiders, 3 Spirit Walkers, and a Grunt, compared to Thu basically has nothing at this point. He just has his towers to defend him. You can see at his main, he is so little as well. Actually putting up farms in the back here, I like this because it doesn't get in the way of your base, and it keeps the front of your base simple, so you can hide in your back with heroes, and you can also pop out front if you need to. And whereas if you're putting farms around, it can get in the way. It can get in the way of your lumber production. Thu also with 2 masonry upgrades as well, and actually having his creep stolen from him as well. Will Thu be aware of this, and will he be able to act on it? It looks like he is aware of it, but I just don't think he's able to act on it at this point. It does actually have the first upgrade for the mortar team damage as well. That's an interesting upgrade to get, really, and getting the iron plating upgrade as well. So yeah, he's going for some breakers as well. He's sort of going for that army I was describing earlier, apart from without the riflemen, which aren't too essential. They're much better just a stopgap, but at the moment it looks like Fly just running over Thu, really managing to steal all his creeps, and that's just a huge thing you need to do, and an equal economy. So it's not like Thu just needs to bank up and wait. He's really just a bit far behind now. He needs to build up this huge army, as he's prone to do, and it looks like this Flying Machine coming in at a good time, catching this Blade Master. Arcane Tower brings him down to low enough mana, he can't Windwalk away, so Fly really commits with this whole army here. Nice focus here of this Arcane Tower right onto the Shadowhunter, and we do have a TP scroll on this Shadowhunter, so he can't get away. Actually, both heroes have boots as well. That's really interesting there by Fly. But it looks like, I guess it must have just been picked up at that camp there that he just crapped. It looks like a nice bringing in of militia. Very nice pressure here by Thu. Just taking a bit of damage, but not too much. Nice ethereal form as well by Fly on that 1 Spirit Walker to keep it alive. And the Spirit actually being stolen there and put on the Archmage. That's just such a useful thing to be able to do. It does waste a bit of the breaker's mana, but I mean they aren't too mana limited, so it's certainly a good thing to be able to do. And it looks like Fly now with a significant army still, and you can see how many low units he had thanks to Spirit. Like, that's just so strong. Means that he kept a whole bunch of his army alive, and he can now use this healing scroll while doing some small creeping of his own, maybe even creeping at this camp. I think that'd probably be the best, although he's going to need to find something to tank really with, because he can't tank just one grunt. He can't use just his grunt to tank for that, so he's going to need a tank on a raider as well, probably, or maybe a shadow hunter. We're going to have to see. Actually, looks like he's just going to pull stuff out and take a bit less damage, but take a bit longer to creep, and he's actually going to have to tank on his raider, which isn't the best situation, because he hasn't